Good morning, traders. Today is Monday, June 14th. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. All right, what are we looking at here? So, last week we had created a balancing area a little bit below us down here. Okay, and then on Thursday we broke out of that balance, and then on Friday we rotated above. Okay, so that increases the odds that this was a good breakout of balance, that we can balance off the excess. It was only a tiny bit of excess, but the tiny bit of excess that we created here with time instead of with price, right? The other way to balance it off would be for the market to pull back down to the lows again and break out once again. But it didn't need to do that last week. It came in here. It made a good low. And then it proceeded to push higher. So this seems strong to me in terms of breaking out of this previous balance. Okay. Then in the overnight, over the weekend, the market pushed higher. It's all new all-time highs depending on what contract you're looking at, but just consider it all-time highs. It pushed higher. Okay. And then it came back down right to the high that we created on Thursday, and then basically just rotated right around there for the rest of the evening. So I don't really see this. I don't see any potential for like a counter auction in here. We're going to open just a few bucks away from the price that the weekend opened with. So not really much change took place in that market. I would consider this prominent POC and this little node of volume that's just above yesterday's high right here around the 4240 level. I would consider that to be strong support resistance moving forward. So if today's market tries to trade up into that area, does it act as resistance? And if so, if we're able to push above it, I would expect that when we come back down, it becomes support. So as far as long trades, that's the first one that's setting itself up to me, is the idea of the market trading above the high from Thursday, and then finding support right around this node of volume. Okay. We also have the weak references that we left behind on Friday. So another scenario is the market could trade down to these weak references, repair them, find support here, which is at the high of that previous balancing area, and then find support there. That's the other long trade that I'd be looking for. The short trade that I'd be looking for would be the failure of that. So you repair these weak references from Friday, but then you keep selling off. You don't find support there. That to me would be a good short. Okay. As far as the open here, I would expect we're going to have some chop this morning because we opened inside of yesterday's range, which was inside of the previous day's range. Okay. So that increases the odds that the market needs to rotate and balance this morning. Obviously, very, very easy to see where you could find support on a push down. It could be right around here, in between, say, the POC from Thursday and the lower end of the volume node from Friday. So anywhere in this area between 42.32 and 42.28-ish. This should be support. I'm not necessarily going to go long here, though, if we get down into it first thing this morning. I will instead wait to see what happens with the repair of these below. Just because with chop, we could come right down into here, find support, push back up, come back down, push back up. We could get a lot of chop in here. So I'm going to give the morning a chance to work itself out, and I'll get a little more certainty before I look for a trade. Like I said, that certainty would be either repairing these weak references and then finding support, or repairing them and then not finding support, looking for the short. Okay? Market internals opening mixed here this morning and not really giving us a signal just yet. Good morning, RK Leon. First one in this morning. Good to see you. Welcome. Hi is here. Good morning to you. Philip is back. Good morning. Marco is here. Good to see you. Gianfranco is here. Good morning. Bull Bear Rider is back with us. Good to see you. Ricky Bobby with us this morning, taking a little break from his race car driving. Happy to have you with us, Ricky Bobby. Phoenix is with us this morning. Ashik is back with us. Good to see you. Josh is here. Stanley. Leighton, good morning to you guys. Naif is here. Parlin back with us. FRM. And Nick. Good to see everyone this morning. Happy Monday. Okay, so now we're trading into these nodes of volume from Thursday and Friday, where the market should find some at least temporary support for a push higher. Also, just noticing that the A period high is poor because it's at the same level as the poor high from yesterday, from Friday, making it even poorer, increasing the odds that the market will retrace at some point and repair it. And also, anytime we make a new all-time high in the overnight, that often gets repaired. Well, that always gets repaired 100% of the time. So that's something else worth noting, considered a weak reference. Nor Auto Trading from Norway is with us. Good to see you, brother. Welcome. News Blip is back. Ahoy to you. All right, well, the ES is finding support here right at the top of that volume node from Thursday. Let's jump over and take a quick look at the NQ. Whoops. Okay, so the NQ opened this morning a little more bullish than the ES. It was outside of yesterday's range, Friday's range. Also, the overnight traded almost entirely above Friday's range. Same exact thing as the ES. We sold off down into the node of volume from Friday, where most of the trade took place, and then found support, and we are pushing back up, which is bullish. So on the next drop, I'd be looking for support at the halfback above this node of volume. And the idea being if you trade back into this again, you would hope this would just act as support for the rest of the day. Could also become the high of yesterday, could become the support if it pulls back down in. So that is 13,988. 13,988. That could act as support when it pulls back down this direction. Could be halfback just below, if not that node of volume. All right, if those can hold as support, the market could remain bullish for a push higher. Okay. What up, Captain Axelrod? Good to see you. Welcome. Marco. Yeah, we found support at 42.31. A little bit lower than that, actually. But yeah, will that hold for the rest of the day? Who knows, right? We always get chop early in the morning when we open inside the previous day's range. And as you mentioned, we're only 15 minutes into the day here. So this chop could easily grind around here and then push lower. However, this area is a good area to act as support, right? Because so much volume was traded there on Thursday and Friday, and the overnight between them. I mean, you can literally just see, just look at that. It's just POCs stacked up on top of each other, volume nodes stacked up on top of each other. So this should act as strong support um, throughout the day today. The worst case scenario, as I mentioned earlier this morning, is the idea of repairing these weak references and then not finding support down there around the low of the day. So yeah, keep in mind you got the 2 week references below, but this is currently acting as support. Also worth noting on this low that we do not have good taper here. 6,000 contracts, 3,000, 2,300. That's not a good taper of the auction process. Increasing the odds we might need to do one more push down here. Bring in some volume to sort of level this out. All right, so as the market pushes its way back down to the lows here, looking to make some better taper. The options are it finds support in these nodes volume from yesterday and Friday, right? Which the lower end of that is about 42.27-ish, right? So it pushes through, creates some taper, finds support, pushes back up. That would be very bullish to see happen. But if not, it might need to come down here and repair these weak references first. So if it does that, again, look for support right after that repair. So what does that look like? Well, basically the market would trade down to these levels around 42.25 and 42.23, and then it would kind of like pass through it and then bounce around a little bit and then pull back above. If it does that, that's it. That's what it would look like finding support after the repair. And then, of course, if that happens, you can go long for the push higher. Okay. But as of now, these nodes of volume are still acting as support. Still have bad taper on the low. The 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles here on the ES has also been acting as support. Market internals looking more bearish than bullish. They're trending down, but nothing to get fearful of just yet. Bull Bear Rider. I signed up for your room. How do I get it? If you go to the website, now that you've signed up, give me 2 seconds. Let me pull that up. Yeah, so if you go to the website where you signed up, and then you'll see up in the upper left-hand corner up here, there is a thing that says My Account. Just click on that and log in. Then you see where it says Brigade Members Only up here in the top right. You just click on that. What? I'm not logged in. Oh, boy, let me log in. Sorry, guys. Bad example. Okay, so yeah, you log in. It'll take you to this page right here. Okay. Scroll on down. You see the one that says Live Streams. You click on that one. And then once we go live for the private stream, we're obviously not live yet. You just click this green button right here, and it'll take you there. Okay. If you click it right now, nothing will happen. But when we're live, if you click it, it takes you to the live stream. Okay. You can also just, if you want to open this page on its own, it's just piratetraders.io/live. Okay, so you just have this page up and running. You can watch, this is the current live stream. You can watch the first hour of trade down here, and then just click this button when I switch over. All right. Also, the Discord, if you just join the Discord, there's always kind of like a separate conversation happening in the Discord that's worth keeping track of throughout the trading day. Lots of great insights passed back and forth there. Good morning, John and Pavel. Good to see you guys. Thank you, Naya, for trying to help him. Appreciate you. Can you access the live stream from the Discord? No, you have to be a member on the website to get to the live stream. Once I switch over. Jitten, if you give it away, bro, I'm not going to do it anymore. DJ Trader, no, unfortunately, the Discord is now one of those things you have to pay for. So just head over to piratetraders.io. There's a link in the description below, and just sign up for the brigade. You only have to pay for 1 month, so $10, and you've got lifetime access to the Discord. All right, so we've just printed the D period, and like I said, we still need to repair this taper at the low here. Get some more two-sided trade down here into this node of volume. So it looks like we're going to start one time framing lower when we do that. So that's the first sort of thing to keep an eye on. So we had the bearish internals. They're starting to form, trending down. If we start, we are not there yet, but if we start one time framing lower, that is another bearish signal, right? If we break through the 20 moving average, that's not necessarily bearish, but it's just not bullish, right? So the more and more of these signals that start to stack up, the more and more we think the market might need to sell off here to come down and repair these weak references below. Okay, that is one time framing lower. Naif, is it me or is the market tame this morning? That's a great point. It is. It's being a little sluggish, a little slow. But the market always do what the market's going to do sooner or later. It's not unusual when you open up inside the previous day's range to have a lot of chop for the first, half an hour, hour of the day, which we're still in. Yeah, so Bull Bear Rider, what you're watching right now, this is a live stream that's available to everyone in the public. I do it for the first hour of the day to everyone. And then once that first hour is done, I'll close this live stream. And the only people that will be able to keep watching will be the people who have that link I just showed you earlier. So at that point, we switch over to a new trading room where it's just the people in the private membership. But that trading room is exactly the same as this. It doesn't look any different. I don't give any different signals or anything. It's all the same. It's just I do it all day. Yes, Newsblip is right. There is more singing that takes place in the private room. It's funny because it really does feel different to me. I don't know if it feels any different to anybody out there who's watching, but I prefer being in the private room. I think it's just because I get a lot less um, of like the same questions over and over again. So that for me is nicer. And also, everybody kind of knows everybody. Like everybody's been, making fun of each other in the chat for so long now that it really does feel like a community. It feels like there's a rapport of people, picking fun at each other. And so, yeah, I'm starting to like the private live streams more than I used to like the public ones. And when I like something, I sing. Okay, don't judge me. Think champagne room. Uh, okay, so we got better taper here at the low, and it does to me feel like the market is looking for support. It hasn't found it yet, but it's looking. That, in my mind, increases the odds that once we repair these weak references, we'll find support down here. Oh, Ashik, are you like you could only trade for the first half hour of the day? That would be frustrating. Yeah, I rarely see great opportunities in the first half hour. Okay, the NDX heading down to that 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles. Can it find support there? Marco, are you working a day job and then staying up till 2 a.m., or do you just trade? That seems brutal to me. Normal asks, when can we tell if weak hands are at play versus strong hands? Okay. It's a great question. It is very hard to know, right? It's hard to know who the buyers and sellers are at any given moment. Pretty much the only trick that I know of is to look at where the market finds support resistance and how it kind of acts when it gets to those levels. Um, so, for example, weak references, right? Like we have these 2 week references from Friday. Let's expand out that profile. Okay, so the H period low is weak because it's the same level as the D period low. The I period low is weak because it's the same level as the C period low and also 1 tick from the E period low. Okay. So what does that mean, the fact that those are weak? Well, it means that the people who bought at those levels, first off, they were looking at these levels, right? They were looking at a candlestick chart and they could see a previous candlestick closed wherever it closed. And so they tried to go long when the market pushed back down to that level. They tried to go long right there at that level and then they pushed it higher, right? So that tells us first, why did they enter right there? Oh, because of this other level. Okay, that's the first piece of information. Does that tell me if it's strong hands or weak hands? Not by itself. But something that is to be noted is larger players who have more, larger size that they take in their trades often can't enter a trade at one exact level. So if a trader who trades with larger size is watching the market sell off, he sees this as, a good level. He sees this as a good level, right? He's going to enter buy orders all up in here. He's not going to just put all his orders here, all his orders here. He's going to kind of ladder into them and let the market kind of sell into his buys because he can't put them all at one spot. It just won't work. So he has to let the market kind of trade into it. So because here in the H period and in the I period, the market sold exactly to that level, that tells me that it was probably traders with smaller size who did the buying here, right? It's probably more weak hands, short-term type of traders who did the buying here because longer-term, bigger money players just literally can't do that. They functionally cannot enter a giant position at one level and not even go a single tick below. They just have too much size. So that tells me that it's short-term traders that did the buying here. Okay, so then the market continues to sell higher. And I'm saying to myself, well, look at this weakness we got below. These people have to take profits at some point, right? At some point in the day, short-term traders like you and me who go flat at the end of the day have to go flat, right? We have to at some point take profits on a long. So I'm waiting as the market, trades higher to see, do we keep creating these weak references? Well, we did. J period was 1 tick above B period. So once again, the people who bought this to push the market higher, short-term players, right? So then they get to K period. They try to push it higher. They don't get anything for it. L period, they try to push it higher. They don't get anything for it. So they give up. Okay. They start to sell out of those trades. That brings in stronger hands buyers in the M period, right? M period, 2 ticks from all the previous references. So the M period brought in some stronger hand buyers, okay, who probably had their orders layered in all through here. And that gave us the oomph to get up and higher. Okay. I hope that wasn't confusing. But that's pretty much the weakness of the references, like where they are and how you trade to them. That's the only sort of signal that you have as to what players are entering at those levels. Okay, so we are selling through this node of volume from Thursday down into the bottom end of it from Friday. And once again, just looking to make those repairs. Marco works at a hospital from 8 a.m. every morning and then stays up trading till 2 a.m.? Damn, you're a soldier, bro. Value is developing overlapping to higher question mark? Correct. Yes, it is. So the developing value of today, which is this blue shaded in box right here, that is overlapping to higher from yesterday. The signal that we get from value that is developing overlapping to higher is that the market is likely to either go sideways or up that day. There's less of a chance that the market is going to sell off to lower prices if value is overlapping to a higher. Okay. Yeah, Marco, I 100% agree. Definitely become profitable in your trading first before you quit your job. But good for you that you're putting in the work, man. That's how you do it. No, it's not exactly the same as VWAP, although it is a very similar idea. So the value area is where 70% of the day's trade took place, the volume from the day. So what you will find is often your VWAP will end up being right about in the middle of the value area, but they're not the same thing. No, they're not calculated the same. They don't show the exact same levels. Um, But in the same way that watching over a longer term basis, watching value is a good indication for the market, watching VWAP is as well. If VWAP is moving up and to the right, over the days, if it's moving up and to the right, the market is bullish, so on and so forth. Same thing here with value. If value continues to build higher and higher, the market is becoming more and more valuable. It's just moving up. The reason we love the value area so much under Jim Dalton's principles of trading is that it allows us to not be distracted by price, right? Anytime the place where the price is moving starts to freak us out and cause us to have an emotional reaction. So say the market pushes down here to repair these weak references below, and everyone else is looking at these candlesticks and they're like, oh my God, look at that. The market's selling straight off. It's the end of the world. We're getting down towards yesterday's lows. Everyone's getting really scared. We see that value is overlapping to higher, and so we're more confident taking a long trade down here. That's sort of the edge that we have on the market. Trade value, not price, as Jim Dalton would say. Yeah, Subhadeep Paul. There is a 45-degree angle in the overnight. but I don't really consider that to be that important. It just happens to be how they rotated. But yeah, it would act as resistance until we broke through, and then it would act as support. Would I short the market now to repair the 611 week low? Um, it's a tricky question to ask. I personally wouldn't do it. However, there's a lot of traders out there that would and would make lots of money doing it, right? Odds currently favor the repair of these weak references. Why? Because there's two of them. So the first of the two, because there's two, it increases the odds that at least the first of the two gets repaired. Okay. Also, the fact that the market is one time framing lower, we're below the 15 moving average. The internals are trending lower. Like all of these things increase the odds that the market is going to come down here and get to these levels. So a trader could short based on that. I won't, because to me, anywhere in this volume could find support. This could be the low of the day. I don't know for sure that it's going to repair this. So these being here will stop me from going long. I'm certainly not going to try to go long in this market, but I'm also not going to go short because I don't have confidence in that trade yet. Instead, I'd rather wait until it's repaired and then see how the market reacts, right? I can go long down here and make my money on the push back up towards the high rather than try to short from here to here, which has less probability. All right, so with the printing of the C period here, we are continuing to one time frame lower, or it looks like we're about to, if we get a few more ticks below this B period low. And we're leaving behind these single prints here in the B period. That increases the odds that the market will need to push back higher and at least backfill these single prints at some point today. The internals are starting to give us a signal that they're leveling off here, that we may be about to find our low for the morning. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. Not much else to report here on the 7:30 printing of the C period. We got the single prints above to get repaired and the weak references below to get repaired. Otherwise, the market is just kind of searching for an area where good two-sided trade can take place. If we find support once we repair these lower references, I would expect a rotation back up to repair the poor high left behind on Friday and then added to this morning. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it quits there for the day. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I will be back here tomorrow morning. Otherwise, if you are a member of the brigade, you can head on over. Give me about 5 minutes and then head on over to that live stream. If you're not a member and you'd like to stay with it, it's just $10 a month, and you get to stay with me all day on the regular trading days. So that seems like a good deal from where I'm sitting. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Monday, and we'll see y'all here tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.